For 30 years, we've been champions of the end-of-life journey.
If you fundamentally go back to the mission of the organization, fulfilling God's calling to serve others. So we're always looking for how do we serve people better? We started looking and said, boy, we're serving a lot of people who are older. And so what's going to be coming in the future? So that was the launching point to thinking about, well, what do we really want to do here?
I got a call from Dan Pfeiffer. He said he had this idea of starting a hospice location in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, and that he'd like to do that with a faith-based focus. We all need to be able to provide an opportunity for people of our faith to die in dignity and to die close to their faith. So, I don't know, it just made so much sense to me from the beginning.
Did we have a vision for that when we first started the venture of hospice? No. Did we have a vision of going out to the community? No. A vision of a guy like John Moeller coming to us? Well, maybe. That was in our dream. Everything related to faith hospice was a leap of faith. But the principle was just starting off with taking care of people at the Holland home. Then what happened was we started getting calls from people that weren't in the Holland home system. I'm also a firm believer in God working through people. So I think he was giving us a clear signal back then, tapping on our shoulder, if you will, or however you want to say it, to say we could serve people in the community.
When you think of faith hospice, you think of a place when you walk in the building, you feel like there's a light that's there, that you feel like Christ is present. And that's totally reflective of the mission statement, that we're going to serve with love and compassion, that we're going to commit to excellence, and that we're going to follow Christ's teachings and example in all that we do. That has served as the rudder, and that continues to be the thing that guides and leads faith hospice. And that's what's going to carry it into the future. For faith hospice, the thing that really sets it apart, it's not just the frontline staff that we have here. It's not just the fact that we have the best doctors. It's not just the fact that we have the best nurses, best volunteers that come in. There's a mission that everybody has embraced. And when you think of faith hospice, you think of quality. When you think of faith hospice, you think of a place that's filled with people that care.
My dad was 92 at the time. He had had a stroke and tried to rehab at Mary Free Bed. Just couldn't do it, and they thought he just had a couple days left. We invited my sister to come back in emergency from Ashland, Oregon. Thought that they might have 2 or 3 days. He had 3 months. So I got to see the care over a 3-month period of time, and it was remarkable. Every person from the, serving food and coming in from the nursing standpoint and housekeeping, everything where people were sensitive to him, caring, got to know him, were very supportive of his faith.
Just like we're tying to families, they're not alone, we're not alone either. So we have amazing physicians to call. We have other nurses we can call. We have our social worker to come in and help, the chaplains, and we have our amazing volunteers who do all those things that we want to do but don't have time to do, right? And then we have all the complementary therapies. So being part of a hospice team is what makes this work doable.
It's probably close to a year ago now that my dad had passed away. And I would say the one thing that stood out to me the most was the nurse that came in, Amber, and the relationship that she built with my mom and dad. It wasn't just coming in as a nurse, it was coming in as a person that truly cared and wanted to build a relationship there and was available.
So one of Dr. Mulder's favorite sayings was that we shouldn't just have a golden rule, we should have a platinum rule. So with the golden rule, we say treat people the way that we want to be treated. But John, with his platinum rule, was that we treated people the way they wanted to be treated. And that's especially true in hospice care, because in hospice, we serve a whole community of people. And wherever they are, that's where we need to meet them. And that's where we need to walk alongside them, because it's not about what we want. It's not a formula. We have to say, what is important to you? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What does quality of life mean to you? And John was especially good at finding out what was important to people and then saying, okay, we can do that. It could have been an occasion they were looking forward to. It could have been a conversation they needed to have. It could be a medical concern that they maybe didn't look like the exact treatment plan that we thought as practitioners, but it was something that they wanted to have, dealt with in a certain way. And John would say, we can do that. John Mulder used to say, if we're doing our job right, none of us will be special, because everybody will have hospice and palliative care, and it will just be part of our normal everyday experience as patients and as we go through life's journey. But John Mulder was special. He was special to me. He was special to all of us here at Faith Hospice. He was special to his patients and their families. John had the amazing ability to drop his doctor facade. He wasn't a white coat kind of standoffish doctor, and just sit at the bedside with patients and their families and hold somebody's hand and talk to them in a calm, reassuring manner. And I think that's what made John special, is he didn't come in at the beginning and say, here's what's going to happen, here's what's going on. He came in and said, this is how we're going to get through it.
Because of John Mulder and what he brought to West Michigan through both hospice care and palliative care. And the palliative care program that he brought specifically to Faith Hospice is a program that is like none other. And the lives that have been touched and other doctors that have been mentored through Dr. John Mulder goes across the country now. And, it's a gift that I don't know if we will see too many more people like a Dr. John Mulder.
Immense. He had his hand in his impact is everywhere through the hospice organization. But he also embodied the kind of the soul of the organization.
So I think over the next 30 years of Faith Hospice, John has set such a foundation for all the practitioners that work with us that we'll be able to continue his legacy and grow that legacy to the next generation of practitioners to make sure that we walk alongside people and their needs, and that they live well and they die well and that they do grieve well.
When I think of our bereavement services, it's really a reminder that it doesn't just end on the day that a loved one has passed away. Our bereavement services are here to be there for the family, to be there for the loved ones long after they've lost their loved one. It's a whole team of people, and what they do day in and day out to walk alongside those that have lost a loved one, to be there for them, to be a comfort to them.
But what we're hoping through the Bereavement Center is to start to heal their hearts and to give them hope for the future, that they can find a way forward through their grief. And with a staff there that are so intense and helping people and so committed to their vocation and their professions to walk alongside families during those dark hours, we've really seen healing. We've seen the healing happen there in the building. We've seen it happen in their lives and communities, and we have great hope for the future that will continue to grow. For a long time, I think doctors felt like if they couldn't heal their patients, that they failed. So that's always been something that John has been really passionate about, and always wanted to walk alongside physicians as well as patients and families and say, hey, this is an expected outcome. We're all going to die, but let's make sure that we're doing this well.
I think when you ask the question, what does the 30 years mean to me? The first thing that came to my mind was gratitude. I think gratitude for those that have come before us, that paved the way to make it what it is today.
I just hope that Faith Hospice can continue to provide that care and that faith and that loving experience for the next generation
For 30 years, we have been bringing faith-based hospice care, palliative care, and grief support to our community. Thank you for backing our mission and allowing us to help so many through some of life's most difficult moments.